My name is Andre, and 2 years ago I worked as an investigative journalist. Back then, I was sure I had seen everything from contraband hangars to abandoned mental hospitals. But there was one case that made me quit journalism forever. It began with an innocent letter. It contained a simple note. Come to the village of Porin. People are disappearing. The police are silent. No signature. No contacts. Just the date and a point on the map. Porin is a small village in the middle of the swamps. It was once built as a sanatorium for the treatment of tuberculosis, but after a fire in the 1980s, most of the buildings were left in ruins. And the people who remained lived so quietly that it seemed that no one had checked the map for a long time to see if the village still existed. The road there resembled a path to another world. The forest became thicker, and the fog heavier. The navigator stopped working. And finally I came across a sign. Morning 3 kilometers. And below, someone had scratched with a knife. Return. But I didn't come back. The village greeted me with a feeling of emptiness. The roads were without tracks. The houses had closed shutters. There was not a single person on the street. And silence. The kind that cuts through the nerves. I went around several courtyards, but no one answered. Only in one house did the door open. An old woman with empty, tired eyes whispered, "Are you a journalist?" I nodded. "Then spend the night here. But before sunset, close all the windows. And don't look outside." I thought it was just superstition, but I agreed out of curiosity. In the afternoon, I went to the center of the village. A man finally came up to me. Gray-haired, exhausted, his hands were shaking. "Don't record," he said. "Just listen." I turned off the recorder. People disappear here, without a trace. Young, old, it's the same. You hear them first. At night, they call out in the voices of those who have already left. Who are they? He looked up at me, his eyes full of horror. Those who didn't have time to get out of the sanatorium during the fire. I laughed out loud, not at the mockery, but at the absurdity. But the men didn't smile. They didn't die. Until the end. You'll hear them. Everyone can hear them. And when you follow the sound, they'll take you into the fog. In the evening I was sitting in the old woman's room. The windows were tightly closed. She gave me a lamp and said, "As soon as you hear a voice, don't answer. Don't open the door. And most importantly, don't look them in the face." I thought it was some old woman's game of overripe loneliness. Until nightfall came. At 2:13 I heard footsteps outside the window. Slow. Long. Like the footsteps of someone who had just learned to walk. Then a voice. Quiet, masculine, but metallic. "Andre, come out." I was petrified. Because I had never told anyone in this village my name. The window was boarded up, but there were thin gaps between them. And in one of the gaps, someone suddenly put his fingers. Long, white, with charred tips. I'm freezing. "Let me in." Something was walking in circles outside the window, scratching the boards. "Andre, I know you're here." The old woman was sitting in the other room, not moving. I heard her whispering a prayer. And then I heard a second voice. A child's. It whispered from the other side of the house. "Dad." A chill ran down my spine. I've never had children. At 3 o'clock the boards on the window suddenly buckled. From outside, something pressed hard on them with its hands. Fingers scraped the wood. Nails scraped off sawdust. "Let it in." Well, let it in. And then there was silence. Complete. Absolute. As if the village had ceased to exist. I cautiously peered through the crack. Only fog. No figure. But when I returned, there was something new on the table in the room. A camera. My own camera, which had disappeared in the yard during the day. A photo was opened on the display. I am lying on the ground. And a dark, faceless figure hangs over my body. And the caption, drawn in ash. "We are waiting." I fled from the dawn before dawn. Barefoot, because I couldn't find my shoes. I didn't look back. When I reached the car, started it up, and stepped on the gas, a silhouette flashed in the rearview mirror. White. Elongated. Featureless. And he followed me until the fog cleared. 2 years have passed since then. I am no longer an investigator. I wake up every night at 2:13 to the sound of footsteps outside. And one morning I found a new envelope in the mailbox. Inside is a photo. I am standing near my own house. And behind me is the same figure from dawn. And below it is the inscription, You are not finished yet. I don't know what to do. But one thing I know for sure. I was only a guest in Purana, and those who stayed there are still looking for those who will follow them. And I'm afraid that sooner or later, they'll come for me.